Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. Today, we're going to be taking a little look here at this year's elections and just analyzing some, like, for instance, taking a look at how this year went as, like, terms of review. Politically, I do think it was a good year for both Democrats and Republicans. Um, so taking a look here, there was these elections here. So this is the Senate election here. This was a good year. Going down, I want to see if there's polls here. We're just gonna review polls and what went wrong with the elections. Reasons. A lot of Republicans, especially, really say, "Oh, 2022 was a horrible year." No, not necessarily. This wasn't a horrible year. This was both a good year and for both Democrats and Republicans. If it was a horrible year, Republicans can't really say that because they won the House of Representatives. Let's also keep in mind that they also won the popular vote in the Senate elections. However, we have the Democrats obtaining and winning the Senate, sort of like that electoral college thing. So taking a look here, the elections, the Senate elections, although it was a loss for Republicans did gain the popular vote by looks like here by 76,000. Not that much when it comes to this. A very close race. Republicans winning by just not by nothing when it comes to this. So Republicans are like, "Oh, it could have been bigger." Well, true, but they can't really say, "Oh, it's the end of the world," because it really isn't. And I'll talk more about this on January 6th. I'm going to send another video on January 6th, being the second anniversary, on how basically the GOP rising from the ruins of unpopularity after the insurrection, and a comparison on how the midterms would have looked like back in on January 7th, 2021, compared to basically this time and era. So taking a look here, yes, Senate election here. And I kind of knew in deep in my head that Democrats would probably obtain the Senate. A little review. We got our little states. Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. Those are the states we kind of reviewed a couple months ago. So, reviewing, when it comes to these states, they are the compatible ones. So, I'm trying to find my Senate map. Current. No, I want the 2022 Senate. So, taking a look here, I'm going to take a look, and this is what polls were predicting. So, I'm ignoring the compatible states. Oops. Well, Ohio was some sort of. I didn't include it, so I'm just going to throw Ohio into the Republicans. Indiana. I'm just going to do the Democrat ones first. Whoops. Color Nevada. Alright. So this is our prediction map. Oh yes, Oklahoma, you were be a little silly if you didn't go. Alaska was going to go red. Hawaii. So yes, as you know, the states, 7 states, and how they would vote. Basically, what polls were predicting. We have Bolduc was underperforming in the polls. Hassan has maintained a majority of the lead all the way through. So I kind of knew, yeah, Bolduc was probably going to lose this one. And he did. This was more of a leaning Democrat victory. Pennsylvania. I know a lot of people thought Oz could win, but in my head, I don't really saw Oz winning. Do I think Fetterman was capable or competent? No, I don't think Fetterman is good for the job of senator. But just my opinion. So, although being the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, I still think he is incompetent. Doesn't matter. Really, one reason why Republicans didn't do so well in Pennsylvania was Doug Mastriano, because he kind of really put the negative impact on the GOP, especially with his accused racism and his attacks by Democrats when it comes to his Islamophobia, basically deeming him a far-right extremist. That really, really, really hurted him. And that's why Josh Shapiro, Democrats did better than Democrats in New York, which is really strange. And when it comes to, Pennsylvania, Fetterman was in the lead throughout all of the beginning of last year, all the way through. Oz may have gotten up in the poll. Some polls predicted Oz to win, but majority of them predicted Fetterman, and that's pretty much why I thought, okay, Oz a little unpopular. There was a lot of sources saying that Fetterman was probably going to win. I was probably going to predict Fetterman wins this. Of course, what would you expect? Everyone was going, oh, Oz is going to win. I'm like, okay, maybe Oz does have a chance, and he did. Because ultimately polls can be wrong, as these elections came to prove. But I still had it in the back of my head. Fetterman was in the lead for a majority of the time. And let's not forget about early voting. 30% of Americans early voted in these elections. That is going to impact the election big time. And I do personally think mail-in voting is not a good thing, because this totally defeats the purpose of election day. If we're not going to go out, the people who want to see change in government should go to the polls in person and see it done. That shows that you are willing to see changes. You want to see changes. You stay at home, open up a link, or you get a package from the mail. All you do is circle. You're just so lazy. You just circle it. Now, if you had a good reason to early vote, that is a very good, understandable situation. But just not early voting because you don't want to go out is kind of fishy. But although Republicans, they really do need to take advantage of early voting. Oh, you don't like it? Too bad. Because if you don't early vote, majority of the Republicans don't early vote, this is going to impact the election. I don't know how, but it just does. And that's what we've been seeing in 2020 and 2022. Low performances. So Republicans kind of need to take advantage of the early voting. And that's what they should be doing for like in Kentucky, Louisiana, and Mississippi, these elections when these 3 states this year. And next year in 2024, they really need to take advantage of that. So take a look here. I was not surprised to see Fetterman win. So North Carolina, I knew Republicans kind of had that in the goal. Georgia, We'll take a look at those polls later. It was really too close to call. I basically called it a blank. Wisconsin, that was pretty much going to be a red. Actually, yeah, I was predicting this, and I was also predicting. I did predict Kelly to win Arizona. Reason, same thing with Fetterman. Kelly was in the polls for a very long time throughout the race, and I was not surprised. And ultimately, when Arizona wasn't called, a few days later, Arizona wasn't been called yet. I'm like, okay, Fetterman's probably gonna win this. Let's just admit it. He has a 5-point lead against Blake Masters. He's probably gonna win this. Taking a look at Nevada. Now, I did think Adam Laxalt did have a chance to win Nevada. And I was kind of surprised to see that he didn't. Because Republicans won the governorship in Nevada. And right here, right then, Adam Laxalt fails. Although Cortez Masto had a lot of issues in her campaign, I thought for sure she'd lose. But I was kind of surprised to see that she won. Got really lucky. And I'm thinking she did a big relief sigh there. I'm going to take a look at the Senate elections. Now, taking a look here, of course, we got to acknowledge runoff. But we didn't know runoff in Georgia until, a few days after November 3rd, November 8th. So, United States. So, when it came to the Georgia elections, first round, yeah, it looked very close. Let's take a look at the polls. We're going to the general polling. Yeah, look at that. At first, yeah, Walker starts out strong, but look at that. Coming in, into June, Walker takes the lead, probably because of Roe v. Wade here. All the way to October. Now, keep in mind, early voting. Walker comes back into the lead. But then, oh yes, let's acknowledge, this is 2021 here. My bad. 2021. I don't know, it's not decided yet. But this was just a prediction. Let's take a look at, just skip to 2022. 2022 sees Walker all the way through. And October, yeah, it's pretty much a red wave in 2021. That's pretty much why Walker's up there. This here looks pretty good for Walker. Then, guess what? 2022 comes. Warnock's back up. He goes back down a little bit. He comes back down. Walker gets... Now, it's all over the place. It's like a spider web of red and blue. It's like... You can't even tell who's in the lead anymore. It's like zigzag. April, same thing. Warnock, back up again. Walker, back up. July. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on. And then you go... So really, Georgia was like I don't know who's going to win. Seriously. I don't know who is predicted to win this. Right now, polls were saying Walker. Even 538, more left-wing source, predicted his victory. Ultimately, well, this is definitely a result to a runoff. If these candidates did not reach 50%, go above 50%, runoff is declared. So pretty much here, a runoff would be declared. Now, if Emerson's prediction was correct for about a 50% for Warnock, there wouldn't be a runoff. So runoffs are pretty lucky because it proves that there is another chance. And I do think, yeah, I wish Nevada had a runoff. A very close election. And Arizona should have done a runoff. But Georgia, it's state laws. Georgia's law requires a runoff for Senate elections, I believe. Yeah, Senate elections only. So, it's more. I'm keeping a toss up for Georgia because that was just. It could have gone in either way, ultimately. And if it went like this, Democrats would still win 50-50. They would still hold the Senate, okay? And Chuck Schumer would be the Senate Majority Leader. But if it went like this, well, yay, Republicans win. Mitch McConnell. I keep calling him Kevin because he looks like a Kevin. Yeah, Mitch McConnell wins, is the new back to being the Senate Majority Leader. So ultimately, this is my Senate prediction. House of Representatives, too much. I'm not going to show a prediction for that. But what I will do is the governors. Now, I will admit, I'm going to admit this right out, and some of you guys are probably going to go, but it's true. I did, towards the end of October, I did think Jensen was probably going to win, but according to the momentum he was going to bring. But I did prepare myself. I was thinking, okay, he's probably not going to. First thing first, we start talking when the election began in November. It's like, nope, he's probably not going to win. So taking a look here, I did predict, this is Maine, beating the former governor, Janet Mills beating the former governor Paul LePage, pretty well. I was predicting she would win. It was more like, and I was right. Sununu gets reelected pretty easily, and same thing. And I'm just gonna, we're just gonna do the first ones first. So Vermont and New Hampshire, Democrats are so happy about Massachusetts. I'm like, really? You're really happy? Hooray! Yeah, really. They think it's a huge win, and I'm like, okay, you're going to win Massachusetts way before 2022 even started. Why are you, seriously? Democrats secure many trifectas. Yeah, the only trifecta you established was in Michigan and Minnesota. That's it. And then you have Maryland and Massachusetts. I mean, they were going to go blue anyway, so I don't think of that much of a win for them. Because, And Republicans aren't disappointed about this at all. They care less because they knew beforehand they were probably going to lose in Massachusetts, in Maryland, because they're Democrat strongholds. And the rhinos, incumbent rhino governors, aren't running in those two states. So therefore, they're kind of screwed. But we don't care about Massachusetts Republicans or Maryland Republicans because, we have the whole country we need to focus on. And we're probably going to lose there anyway, Massachusetts and Maryland anyway. So, predicting here, New York, I'm gonna leave it blank for now. Reason? You know how it goes. Old Lee Zeldin and his gains. Connecticut, they had some predictions there. Yeah, I was definitely going to predict a Pennsylvania blue for this one. Well, I'm going to leave it blank because, But, just saying, I did predict a Mastriano defeat for sure. For sure. I'm just going to color these red. I'm not going to do a shading or anything. So this is my prediction. Illinois, Arkansas, that's it. Democrats, I kind of knew that Dixon would probably lose, basically because of polls. Well, actually, we'll keep you out, but I'm just stating what will be my results, just in a fair moment. Mass, Rhode Island. So yeah, 13 close races. Oh yeah, I'm gonna call it Illinois. Illinois, one person. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna color them, as you can see. So this is the predictions. So those are the safe ones. I did predict like a Janet Mills victory. More of a leaning. New York, I would have said for a Hochul victory because New York's going to be a New York. Although it would have been a huge Democrat upset if Zeldin did win New York. In Wisconsin, I did hear a lot of opposition towards, and seen a lot of opposition towards the Evers administration. So I did think, Wisconsin's probably going to go red. Well, guess what? Wasn't really paying attention to polls in Wisconsin, and I didn't really. Well, I mean, I was concerned about my own state. Wisconsin did prove to be. Evers did have the upper hand in the state of Wisconsin. From there. Well, actually, yeah, according to polls, I'm just gonna put this in blue. Kansas. Let's take a look at this Kansas polls. I'm a little curious. I'm like, Kansas is a red state. Why would it re-elect Democrat Governor Laura Kelly? Well, didn't Laura Kelly prove to be a disgrace? No, they re-elected her. She did probably pretty good. Let's take a look here. 2022 starts here. Polls, Republicans do pretty well here. And then Kelly swoops in. So I'm gonna give this to Kelly. Democrats here. Arizona. Once again, painful map for Republicans, reminding them about their loss. But this is what it looks like. Yeah, Democrats had the lead through 2022. Then we go through majority of April, May, June, July, August, September, and then we have. So I kind of would think Hobbs would win because look at that long line of support. But then again, early voting, you can see it was more of a status quo, and more people predicted Lake victory. But I would think Hobbs being in the lead for a long time. And polls, as you know, can be very wrong. I'm going to take a look at the Nevada elections. So, I see this is also a pretty close race. Well, once again, so like in June, Republicans are in the lead. So I would have given this to Republicans, seeing that Lombardo was going to win. Lombardo starts out strong. And then once again, this is 2022 here. So I'm going to give this to Lombardo. And then finally we have the Oregon election. at this. This is the general election here. Yeah, this is a general one. Oh, it's more higher than usual. It's more reason more. Yeah, I would have thought Caltech would win. Because look at these. Drazen only takes the lead through this, September, and then Caltech goes back up, and look, we're back in the status quo, and then we're back up again. So a very close one. So yeah, that's my prediction. That was what it was kind of supposed to look like. And what it ended up being like was, let's see, is this the exact prediction? I think it is, unless I did something wrong. Yeah, Nevada. So basically, this is what it was going to look like all along. And I'm counting about the time, even before, like during the summertime. Polls predicted it would look like this. Guess what? Republicans claim majority, as you see here, in the gubernatorial election. And, in fact, it is said that Republicans did win the popular vote in the... Actually, no, they didn't. Never mind, they didn't. They didn't win the popular vote in the gubernatorial elections. Democrats kind of took that. 2022 gubernatorial. And put down the United States. So yeah, it says Democrats claimed good majority, 49.2090%. This here shows, yeah, like by 200,000 people here. So yeah, exact map. I am thinking. So, and then let's take the House of Representatives. And it says that Republicans did flip 9 seats. So a good victory for them when it comes to that. Republicans claiming 50%, 3 points of the popular vote against the Democrats. So, yeah. Of course, Democrats did do some flips. So yeah, this is the new year of review of 2022. Next up we have, I'm trying to figure out if I should do the Georgia election, because there's been some results, some controversy over Georgia election results. But soon upcoming, we'll be talking about the upcoming Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana elections. 2 important elections, 3 important elections, and Virginia. Virginia is an important one because they have their legislature, and that will determine how the politics in the state will be running. And Virginia, if Republicans do win Virginia, that's going to be very helpful for 2024. And Virginia historically has been a conservative state, has voted Democrat in at least 4 consecutive elections. Question is Virginia stuck being on the left? Virginia has voted over 11 points for Biden, but 2021 Republicans capitalized there pretty bigly. They won the Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, and gubernatorial elections there, and did pretty well. So the question is, will they do? What will it be like in 2022? 2024. And 2023 is like an elevator. You go on the elevator, and you're going up to your next destination. That's 2024. Go up the elevator. It's waiting, but you have time to actually think and strategize. And 2023 is more than necessary, because if this was 2024, Republicans would be totally screwed. Like, seriously. If they were going to walk into this election, they'd probably get their butts kicked. But thank goodness we have the Republicans have the 2023 elections. And yeah, they just need to wait. Alright? Thank you all for watching. And we'll tune in also on the House Speaker elections if Kevin McCarthy will win and become the next Speaker of the House.